pulse of the VI. Listen close and you will see why. The information will set you free. Stand together, never divide. Pulse VI.
Pulse VI in the building. How you guys doing?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Stephanie Brewley in the building.
Yes.
Running for the first district. Now tell me, what party do you represent?
I represent the Progressives United
Progressive United.
group. We're not a party. We're
Sorry,
a
a
group.
group.
Oh, a group.
My
Yes.
bad. I
We're
don't
a
know
group.
election lingo.
Yeah.
I am not the one for that, so my apologies.
True.
Okay.
But thank you and welcome to Pulse VI.
Well,
Thanks for
Welcome.
having me, guys.
You're
Thanks for
welcome. So tell us, people that don't know you, who is Stephanie Brewley?
You want a full thing or you just want a
No,
piece?
we want to know what the people want to know.
The
Whatever
people
you
need to know.
The people need to
Okay,
know.
all the important parts.
Okay, well, all of it is important, but for the
Bad
sake,
or good?
for the
Yes.
sake,
Just give us the what you call it, the punch. Just give
The
us
punch,
the punch.
right?
You know what we need to know about Stephanie.
true. Well, first of all, and you're gonna hear it looping throughout everywhere I go. First of all, I'm a child of God.
Mhm.
Then obviously I'm a woman. That says a whole lot in itself.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah, I'm a woman.
No
That's
sarcasm.
sarcasm.
No, for real though.
I'm a woman. I'm a sister, a loyal friend.
Mhm.
I'm a mother, an author. I'm an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
I'm a patriotic Virgin Islander who loves music. I like to sing. I like to dance.
Okay.
I like culture.
Mhm.
I like to see people empowered. I get a kick out of it. It's like a drive for me. It's like that's what I live for, more or less. And I just have a heart for the
Nice.
country. So
Okay.
in a nutshell, that's who
That's it.
Stephanie is. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I can work with that.
Very nice. Okay, so let me just ask. Well, you have all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can ask this question.
Mm.
So let me ask now. What makes Stephanie unique?
When God created me, right? He didn't put anything in me that anybody else has.
Okay.
That and for me, just being created by Him uniquely, me to be Stephanie is unique.
Okay.
So everything that I am encompassed of is unique. The way I speak, the way I think, the way I do what I do. Because you could always see several hundred people writing books. I'm an author.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I do it was uniquely designed from the inception. And it leads me to think, or to say, it's important for everybody to just be you.
Right.
That kind of way.
Yep.
So just being created by the creator, Stephanie, with my DNA, with whatever he put in me from the inception, makes me unique. So everything that you see me do makes me unique. Because the way I do it, nobody else ain't doing it.
True.
Yeah.
Well said.
What can I say?
No,
about
you
Can't
can't
say
argue that.
that? She said no, you can't argue that.
Can't argue with that.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why was it important to you to contest this next election?
It was important because I didn't really have a choice.
Mm.
It was a calling.
Okay.
And I know people could get sick of the same story, but if the story is a story, story is a story.
Mhm.
It was a calling. It's since late 2017, even after I heard the Holy Spirit loud and clear, and I was reluctant. Of all the things, children dream of being a big lawyer,
Mhm.
a doctor, Indian chief, just for fun. Maybe politicians.
Mhm.
That wasn't my dream. It wasn't something that I saw myself doing. And living life for God, sometimes you get calls that are beyond where your feet can reach, or
Mhm.
where your head could see above the water. And it leads you to a place of faith.
Right.
And so when I got the call, I had to answer. And so that's why I decided to run. That's why it's important for me to run, because I live in obedience to Him. I live a life of faith in obedience to Him. So it's important for me to run now, because I believe that He wants to use me to do something. We were all placed here, if I might, to do something for Him. A creator creates something for a purpose. Mac created that computer to do something specific that a Samsung phone can't do. Right? I can't do dancing.
Yes, you
She
can.
could do it,
I can teach you.
This and I might 2 foot them hang around like the old people have to say. But So when he who created me says that I need you to go here, that means he has something for me to do. And the reality is that I don't know everything that I have inside of me, but the creator know what that capacity of that laptop can do. And so when he say you can do it, it means you can do it because you have something that he knows. I just have to walk it out and let him show me what I have inside of me. There's certain things that I do know that I have, but he knows the rest. And so I go with that stance. I go from that angle. Yeah. Wow.
No, you're answering. You're doing it.
Yeah. We gotta do it. We got to be real, and we have to do it.
No. I guess. What kind of question do you call this? For somebody like Andrew Foy, who's been loved so dearly by his community for over, I don't know how long how long has he been elected in the 4th district?
I think this year will be 20.
20 years.
Yeah.
For 20
Yeah.
years.
20 years.
Yeah.
What aspects do you think he has? I don't know. What's the question? What is the question I'm asking? Where do you think he has fallen short in those last 20 years?
That's not my place.
Okay.
To be honest, it's not my place to say where he has fallen short. My mother, I'll give you an analogy because I do well with those sometimes. My mother did what she knew to do to raise me. At a teenage stage, I felt like, where you can't do this or where you can't, but that's what she knew to do. Now, maybe at this stage, when as a grown woman, she's like, maybe I could have done this better, but I'm already an adult. So what I'm trying to say is that everybody that was given an opportunity to lead or to be a parent or to do something significant, whether in a personal or a public life, did what they knew to do, did it to the best of their ability. Maybe they will look back and say, I myself could have done it better. Maybe we could say, maybe you could have done it better. So I don't think I'm in a position to say where he falls short or what. I wasn't him in his time to know what, I may have my views, right? But he did his best. He did what he could have done, and he did it when he had the chance to do it.
Okay. While that answer is all sugary.
Yeah, and it gonna be like that.
While that is all sugary, I need the meat of it because at the end of the day, you're running against. You're running. Your whole point of your election is to get somebody out who you don't think is running his district right. Am I right or wrong? I mean, if you thought that he was doing that he was doing a good job, then why are you running for the 1st district?
No, I never said I thought he was doing a good job. I said to you, he's doing the best that he could have done.
Right.
Let me rephrase the question.
Okay, then. Rephrase the question then.
Should you win, what would you bring different? What would Stephanie bring
that's a better question.
to the 4th district that Andrew probably hasn't bring out? What do you just intend to bring to the 4th district if elected?
Well, I listed out a number of things that I am, or who is Stephanie in the beginning, right? And one of the things I would like to capitalize on is the fact that, and let me just say this. Too often, the traditional way of learning is what's the norm to qualify somebody to be in a position or to do this. Well, it has its place. You have your master's, you have your doctorate, but I believe that all of y'all know that sometimes some of them have it and still don't know how to utilize it.
Right.
But for me, in my small little world, one of my greatest attributes would be the fact that I'm a mother. Now, I'll say why I said that. I'm a mother of 5, right? And believe it or not, I have to manage an economy. I have to manage people. I have to manage time. I have to manage emotions. I have to communicate. I have to be selfless. I have to be resourceful. I have to make things out of when there is nothing. Because you don't get to say, how the child are eating, throw your hands up in the air. You have to find a way. So I get to be creative as a mother. And so these are things that didn't just come in a classroom, but they're attributes that will be needed to manage a district.
Gotcha.
You have to be resourceful. Sometimes you won't have the money, so what are you going to do? How can we be creative? Because sometimes you say, well, and I just wrote the book, The Journey, and I tell the people in the book, sometimes you feel like you have nothing. But some saying goes, adversity is the mother of invention. What's your gift? You mightn't have no money, but you could teach people to dance.
Gotcha.
You mightn't have nothing else, but you have something in you. And so, as a mother, first of all, I feel like I qualify because I know how to manage a small economy. The Bible says that he who is faithful over little, I will make you ruler over lots. Now, if you want to go to the contemporary way or the traditional way of the classroom, I have a marketing background, so that will add some knowledge,
Right.
About creativity, how I can adapt to trends and know the needs of creatively know the
Absolutely.
needs of the district against the changing times.
Okay.
Right? Know what they need creatively and be able to meet those needs and how we can work together. And it's not really but how we can, because it's changing times, trends, marketing. You follow the thing. And then I also have a human resource expertise background. Been working in human resource for over probably 7 years. I own my own entrepreneurial business where I do human resource training. And one of the things, you have SWOT analysis. What are the strengths of the people, the weaknesses, the opportunities, threats? What are the strengths of the district, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats? And so once we analyze, we can be able to capitalize on our strengths, help with our weaknesses. How can we use these opportunities that are presented to us to make us grandiose, as small as we are? And then how can we safeguard ourselves against our threats, right? So I think that in a nutshell would sum up, like, what I bring to the table. Right?
Kinda.
What else?
Kinda.
I haven't really heard anything like that. Like, here's what. Let's take a quick break. I will be right back.
You want to
Pulse
challenge?
VI
time
in the
for a
building.
break.
We'll be quick.
Pulse.
We'll pay some bills and come right back. Stephanie Brewley, baby.
Pulse VI.
All right, we're back, guys. Pulse VI in the building.
Yep.
This is our first show back. This is season 2, the very first show.
Oh.
And this is called the election edition. I
Okay.
guess the first couple of shows will be election editions. We have Stephanie Brewley, one for the first district. No, you were asking me, listeners, if you're
If you're in tune.
you were asking me. Yes. What? No, are you going to
It's
answer the
alright.
question, or what are you going to bring differently to the table?
Okay, so besides all my attributes that
Yes.
I
Yes.
personally possess differently,
Yes,
because I
yes.
believe that they're still different to the incumbent. But
Yeah.
in terms of like what I bring differently, I think a heightened what's the word that I want to use? Let's just say I want to bring 3 things to the forefront that has not been at the forefront.
Okay.
Right? Culture, education and empowerment, and tourism. Right? We need to revitalize our culture, and I think this is basic stuff. Just to we need to revitalize our culture a little bit more in the 4th district. I think we are a culturally based district. We have a
Yes,
lot to
you are.
offer.
You are.
If I might be biased a bit, I feel like we are one of the most culturally sound districts in the territory, right? So areas like our fishing, our farming, the back to basic things that made us who we were in the beginning, the seawater. What can we do with those to help us to be an attraction, number one, to the world or to the BVA in itself? What can we do with those to be an attraction? Then the empowerment and education. There is a lack thereof.
Okay.
When I was growing up, we didn't really have blocks, or we didn't have a corner. We didn't have much of idle, what I would call, I have to be careful with my words, idle behaviors coming out of our youths from very tender ages, because we were gainfully engaged in certain activities.
Right.
We've slackened off a bit. And I think it's because we've not been keeping up with the trends. That's where the marketing piece comes in, because we're evolving. So culture is evolving. So certain things that I would have do, I went to piano class, but now what a typical young boy want to do now.
Correct.
Right? So education and empowerment you have to tackle it from a creative perspective or a needs perspective, so we don't have what we're having now. I think that there was a lack there over the years. And so stuff like, well, a little boy want to fix a bike, you give him a tire, now he broke it apart by the time he done, because he wants to see how it works. That's a mechanic in the making. You see a little boy now, he taking your pots and your pans and he doing this. It ain't that he making noise. He wants to play the drums or something like that. So if we can implement programs that will cater to the needs of their interests, then we can empower. And empower doesn't go just for youths or whatever, but it goes for I'm a youth, but I'm a little advanced youth, and then people that are still older than I am, or in a generation that still don't understand what their purpose is. So if somebody in the district, for instance, just in layman terms, has the expertise in hair combing and this person, or somebody wants to be a book writer and they're 50. It's not too late. You can be empowered to do it. You could write. I have all these books in these things in a folder for the longest while, but I don't think I could. I'm too old for the. No. Empowerment goes that fast. So if we can get different people with different expertise who's been versed in the areas to come out and to do empowerment for others, I think that we can help to mobilize a little bit more from that perspective. Catch what I'm saying now? And then tourism. So tourism is a big deal. I believe that we are our own tourist destination first. We are our own tourist destination first. If I can't get you to come from Tongue to West End for something, how are we getting people to come from? What happens if we don't have any more planes flying? What happens if we don't have any more boats coming in? What do we attract our own to? And we will use the same culture and we use the same education and empowerment to do it because we're using what we have. And if I can empower or educate you to be or to be whatever you want to be, then you will use your gift at maximum. Whether you're gonna open a business, whether you're gonna have a sightseeing something, whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna bring it out. Right? But from a district perspective, it's for me to basically say, okay, this is what we have, the tapestry of the land, this is what we have. How can we use it to attract people? Some of the things, examples, no, I feel like I'm running on.
No,
but some of the things I feel like boating. Back then my grandfather had a fiberglass boat. They used to build them with their hands and dinghies. Now we got cat and all kind of thing. Right? It's not that the culture has changed, but it has evolved. We used to have what used to be the baddest boat race down in West End by Linkies by the sea, and I think that the people notice what happened. We had it with all the baddest boats, but we got boat now. Can we not make it a yearly attraction? We have fishermen that are still fighting the good fight. When people come from away, they're looking for the delicacies of a yellowtail and mayonnaise sauce and da-da-da. That's norm for us. So what we gonna do with it? How do we motivate our fishermen, right, to stay on the cutting edge and to have something to offer without just, let me sell a couple pound of fish or something. What about a fisherman's jamboree? Make it a yearly event where all sort of fish selling all kind of how, right? And on the field or something like that, and we showcase who our fishermen are, who our fishermen entrepreneurs are. You're not just a fisherman, you're a businessman, and have that to be everybody come. We going west for fisherman's jamboree. Because I know I'm going to get it from XYZ stall. And not only the fishermen are on display, but you have our cooks. You have our different vendors. We got JBK's, we got Meadows Kitchen, we got, you name it. We got Aldred, we got everything. So so tourism now becomes an internal product. And then ultimately, when other people come, well, you come and join the fun because we have something to offer. But we also have some preservation that we need to do. Just to wrap it up, we have some preservation of our historical sites and our cultural facets that still remain, that are struggling to be preserved. We can't lose it. If you come in on a tour, okay, you could have the Calwood's Rum Distillery. What district one have? What we want to preserve. We have brick ovens in our district, Can we not make it an attraction? Stop in the bay. You understand what I'm saying? So using what we have to make more. That's one of my themes. So I think the basic theme, tourism. Use what we have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you answered the question.
No. Jesus, great.
Thank you, Steph.
All right.
Jay, you have the next question.
I do. Okay.
I don't make it too hard, buddy.
Don't make it too hard.
A little tired.
We asked nothing hard yet. We have a whole half an hour to ask 3 more hard questions.
Okay.
We ask one more easy one.
Okay.
Jay's like, what do I ask?
Yeah. I'll go with the 100 days. So, if elected for 100 days, Stephanie Brewley, congratulations. Right? So you're elected. You are
that excitement there.
Right. So we knows what qualifies you. And we see your vision. So what would you prioritize now? After you've given these 3 lovely categories, they say, okay, well, you have 100 days. Which one would you approach first? You have your tourism, you have your culture, and your education, at least. How would you go about prioritizing them within your first 100 days?
I think that question is an assumption that I would approach any of the 3 first. It is. Because you said, you gave me a time frame. That's number 1. But realistically, I don't think we'd be realistic with anything around here. We could go with a pie in the sky idea and then think that that's how we're going to work. But if you're talking about my first 100 days once elected, the first thing I do is going back to the people to at least show my appreciation. To say thanks for having.
Okay, that's day one.
That's day one.
That's day one.
That's day one.
How are you working day 2?
Hold on.
That can only last a day.
Let me answer my question.
That just goes, hey, Facebook, thank you for electing
No,
me.
that's not it.
Yeah.
Just like how you go house to house and you some of them still ain't gonna come out to hear your thank you speech. You still have to give the same
Well, of course, because not
emphasis.
everybody votes for you.
Right.
So-
But you still have to put some emphasis, so it might be a couple more days than that.
Okay, I'll give you a week to say thank you.
Yes. And then afterwards, on a realer note now, assessment.
Okay.
As a new politician, first of all, you see, it's me asking, so I have to answer it relative to me. As a new politician, my mother had a thing of saying, come see me and come live with me, 2 different things. Right? I could say, I gonna put this in place, I gonna do this, I gonna do that. But then when I get in there are certain things that you are not privy to in the public that I have to learn and understand and get an understanding of before I could just say, okay, this is what we're gonna go do.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have to assess, where did the current representative leave off? Because there might be some things in there. Now nobody don't want to talk about these things. There might be some contracts in there that might have decided last year and got to end, and I have to deal with it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so if we don't do a thorough assessment, and that could take a while, because if you want to jump in and put on top of put, that's how we end up in trouble all the time. We want to make a thorough assessment. And in the thorough assessment, you still want to inform the people as to where we are. So it will have a series of that. But in the meantime, to use, and then the next thing too, you know what I want to do? I want to, because we don't know what the dynamics of the new government is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be an overthrow on one government. We don't know if it's going to be a coalition. We don't know if somebody might have to cross a floor to farm, whatever it is.
What's your position on that possibility?
The coalition?
Yeah.
Life is about adapting. It's about change all the time. And so, if the possibility presents itself, we don't really have a choice.
Right.
We have a problem. We don't know how to work with each other. It's clear. We did that on the table. But we're going to have to learn. Because at that point, it would mean that we still have to have the government do. So we're going to have to suck it up. Wear our big girls' underwears and we got. I hope so. At some point, I really hope that become the cringing point, so that people could just. We are gonna work for the betterment of the country, because if we don't have the votes that we need to make sure that is our government, we gonna sink or swim. You know. So I feel that you have to adapt to it, and then maybe it might help us to walk in finally one direction for the country and not for other interests.
Correct.
Right? So that's what my take is on that.
It's still upon us. We really thought that Omo would have brought us together. But
But
can't depend on her for that.
I think our
Oh,
problem is
sure.
communication. That's our problem. And not just the lack of communication, but the want to communicate. Because that's a big thing too, because I think we choose not to communicate between each other and between politicians. I think they choose not to communicate with other politicians.
Yeah.
And to me, that's where the problem lies, because then that means there's a snake in the grass somewhere.
Yeah.
If you don't want to know if something is not public between politicians, you know what I mean? I mean, I understand that there's crooks. I understand. We have our crooks. And that's always going to be there no matter how we put it. But the problem is that certain things that need to be communicated for the betterment of the country is not communicated. And that's because we have too much bad things going on, and we're always trying to cover up.
This is why we're asking for more transparency.
Exactly,
and all
correct.
that. Yep.
so you're saying communication from from government elected officials to public or amongst?
No, among each other. They need
Among each other.
and as
among each
leaders-
other.
As leaders, they need to be doing that.
Because then how can I trust you if you're leaders together and it's a split party, whatever you want to call it. You're leaders together. You can barely communicate to me separately. You have to communicate together if you're running this one entity. You understand what I'm saying?
You
But sorry to
break.
cut you off, but we got to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Pulse VI Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. We got Chain the Building, Stephanie Brewley. It's your boy Blake. We'll be right back.
Pulse VI.
Pulse VI in the building. We got Stephanie Brewley
Hi.
running for the first district against Mr. Andrew Fong, who been in the game for 20 years.
A whole 20.
A whole 20. A whole 20.
That's a veteran. That's a veteran.
All right, so we have 13 minutes left in the show.
Wow.
Blake, do you have a question? Because you look like you've been wanting to ask something.
He da do have
He
one.
itching over there, you know.
Tell me so. Give me something,
itching,
Blake.
man.
What's going
But
on?
you know, wait. No.
All right.
Y'all ended my thing. You tell me when I wasn't answering the question or didn't get to it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Go ahead, go ahead.
I didn't finish what I was going to be doing.
Your
in the-
platform.
in
You
a
got a mic.
hundred.
You got a
in
mic.
100 days. So
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you asked me about the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So after we understand the dynamics, because then we will have to see what kind of government we have, how we're going to be operating, and it's going to call for communication at that point. And then, well, I for sure know if I'm supposed to get in, my group doesn't have a full slate, so I'm going to have to work with people.
Right.
So that's from a personal perspective. But also, in the meantime, after us getting back to the people, assessing, and then working out the dynamics of the government at hand, I think simultaneously what I'll be doing is still engaging the community and my district. Because one of the things that I need to know, or we need to know, knowledge, skills, abilities. Can we form a directory? Get out there and start putting who does what, who got trucking company, who the cook, who to do this. Get this directory, make it a public district directory, and at the same time start or continue engaging the persons in those areas to get ready for the programs that I want to put forward in the district, your youth programs, your empowerment, your culture, your whatever programs. So that's what I'll be doing in the meantime as well before we start to talk about infrastructural things and all that other stuff, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, I got a question for you.
One no.
You keep saying district and community and rare. What was really missing in your district and your community that drove you to run for the election?
Unity.
Unity in the first district.
Stop your stupidness hair.
Not the first district.
The first district.
Not the first district.
The first district is one of the most unified districts
Unity.
I know. What? Unity? Really?
I look pretty too, are
Yes.
Very
Unified.
Do I look like I have do I look like I have troubles?
A woman of all of that.
You see,
I see where she's going.
I don't know where you're going
you
yet.
You see, we do. My mother say don't air that on John Street,
Right, you don't. You don't.
right? But there's always room to be better, right? And over the years, if y'all were to be honest, the colors of parties and the colors of every other thing else has been driving it's not just the first district.
Right.
You've been driving us apart and getting away from the main meat of the matter. What is the best? What's going to happen in the best interest? And we've had that issue throughout the BVI.
See, my thing is, right,
One oh.
you shouldn't air your dirty laundry.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're still one BVI. So I feel that you should air your dirty laundry in the first district because we are one. There's no reason that the second district, the seventh district, all districts fight for the first district. But we complain and we go on to each other, but we don't air out the dirty laundry. How things will get better
Well,
before they get worse.
okay, it's not so much what you do, it's how you do it. Having this platform, I have 5 children, I'm a divorcee, I have a lot of different things in my personal life, right? That it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I feel like if I'm going to have a public platform, you have to know how to say what and when to say what. If we have a district community meeting, let me tell you, it could get nasty in there. If we have a, we could get nasty, but, we are on the World Wide Web. And I think that that's where a lot of our politicians in Virgin Islands went wrong too. They think that they're getting at the other person, but we are one BVI.
Right.
And everybody is looking in to see how messy we are. Can you not do it on another forum? Can you not turn that down for a minute? Because to you, while you may think that you're getting your point across and you arrogant with this and you arrogant with that, you still got England, you still got Brexit, you still got all these, and you got people watching.
Right.
You still have to be careful. So if in my little small community, I have to start with the little light that I have, the little corner that I have, and I have to be a certain way about the way I say what I say. It's not that I'm not acknowledging that we have flaws, but you have to know how and when and where and what, But know that I'm not diverting from the truth, that it is a problem, right? So you ain't going to get me to be one of them coin. You check?
Yeah, check.
Yeah, check. All right, one more.
Where he from, Long Look? So you know.
We Long Look is talkers. Okay. Do you think that BVI landers care about the BVI? Honestly, in your heart.
In my heart, I'm a BVI lander. You just make a general statement.
I say that because I had a conversation with a friend. And I like to look at stuff outside of the box. And I found in the BVI, we complain about everything, but do nothing to fix it. For example, ministers will host community dialogues about all kind of stuff. But BVI landers, us, wouldn't be there, but our Caucasian brothers and sisters are there. So again, I ask the question, do you think we BVI landers really care about what's going on? Because when the ministers want to have this dialogue, we're not there. But when things happen, we cuss.
Right.
Do you think this is something that can be changed?
One person at a time. Because culture is evolutionary, like we talked about. That was not us as a people. Our forefathers did what they did together. The strength in unity, the strength in making sure that everybody came together. So we didn't complain, we fixed it together. But over the years, and I think this is a shortcoming. Money, I have my house, prosperity. For the lack of not wanting to see our children have to work as hard as we did or struggle, we went over the top and couldn't survive prosperity. We handled poverty and minimum good. Because on the backs of our fishermen and our fishermen and farmers were lawyers and doctors built. And we did so in unity for the betterment of our people, our children. But when we got into these positions now, we became selfish. We didn't handle prosperity good. So our culture now got skewed under prosperity. We didn't handle well. And so now you find them complaining as a result of that same skew. Okay, well, my children them are right, XYZ. But can it be changed in the same way? In the same way it was perverted? One person at a time. I'm not going to join the complaining. I'm going to stand up. And as many people that will come along, if I have 2 people with me tomorrow, it will be 3 tomorrow. The next day will be 4. But we just have to do. Keep doing, because the guy with the light bulb, you know the story. How much time he tried before the light bulb is going to come on? We can't stop trying because BVI ain't going nowhere.
Right.
But I have 5 children. And if not for me, then I will try as many times as I can for them. I'm going to be the change that I want to see. So I understand your plight, but it doesn't mean that BVI landers don't care. We've developed a bad culture, and a lot of us are like that, truth be told. But what we can do to resolve that, one person at a time every day. Just give it all that you got. Win, lose, or draw, just give it all that you got. You come out to the meeting. You be that one.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I'll take the next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I like what you said, and I'll double back on. And one of the first things when you said you're a woman, and I said that's powerful. I wasn't really being sarcastic, right? Because we need women in in our politics. So how do you feel about the power of a woman? How do you see bringing, your stance as a woman into the politics, representing women? Because what you're saying is very powerful stuff. It's very empowering, and it's very good. We hope that little girls and women are also listening. So what's your stance as a woman in politics?
Because there hasn't been many.
It
There haven't
hasn't
been
been
many.
Right.
There have been a few, but there haven't been many.
And impacting.
And impacting.
So you wouldn't just want Stephanie to be a quiet backbencher.
Right.
So how would you, as a woman, how do you see yourself in politics and in government?
This woman thing troubles me.
No,
but it's the
second
truth.
thing
It's
that you
such a.
said.
I know, but it's. I know.
The second
But-
thing that you said.
It's something we don't talk about
Is
around
it?
here much.
It's the
But-
truth. It's the truth. Being a woman, like you say, is a powerful thing. And why I say is that it's a powerful. Let me choose my words carefully. It's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing because we have capacity to handle outside of what a man could do. I'm gonna tell it to you like it is. For a long time, women were seen or perceived to be, oh, I'm prissy, I will follow, and da 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 da. But do you know that's the way she leads? She leads from her characteristics of a woman. The man go out and he make the money, but when he come home, he give to her and he say, you better know how much to grocery shop with this and blah, blah, blah. She's an economist. He goes out and he makes the money and he does it. She come in, she's an economist. Okay, he turns around and he say, you clean the shitty Pampers. 9 months in labor and then she got to push. He just there. Honey, I'm here with you. If we could do it there from a woman's perspective, in the house and in the home, then it's the same thing in the House of Assembly. You know when to speak. You know when to be strong. You know when to be firm. You know how to use your passive, the way you are, your feminine side to get what you need across. And so it doesn't say we can't or we can. It just says be.
Right.
So what you have inside of you is more than your hair and your clothes. And what a woman has inside of her is a hell of a lot. She's a decision maker.
Okay.
So
we got
so be like
60
one.
seconds. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
60 seconds. Win or lose. What is next for Stephanie?
Stephanie continues to live. Stephanie continues to be a mother. She continues to write books. She continues to do her entrepreneurship. She continues to serve in the community where she can. She continues to chaperone. She continues to do everything that she was doing before, but she just does more in it. That's
Gotcha.
all.
That's all.
That's all.
Is there anything else you want to tell the community before you go? I mean, we have a month left before. Is what, the 25th of February? Is it the 25th of February before elections?
Yes.
What are you gonna do to secure a win? What are your actions? What plans you put into place to secure a win for yourself?
It might seem funny, but pray hard and long. I live that life, but also to continue to engage my community. The regular. By the way, my lunch is coming up on the 5th of February, and the Capoons will feel at 6 p.m. So that's where the district is going to have that open view or that open air, bells and whistles as they call it. So I hope to see them there. I will have some rallies coming up that they will hear in subsequent announcements or whatever. But just be me in my approach to the people. Tell them what I intend to bring. Continue to encourage them to want to see a better BVI, a better district, and vote wisely.
Okay.
Vote wisely.
Continue. Oh, we could continue.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
We got more time.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. We actually have 5 more minutes actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
for ourselves. So,
Yeah.
Great.
Blake, you have anything else you want to put in there?
But I want to hear more about this woman being the economist thing, because that's my skill. That's
Gotcha.
actually what I study. But anyway, I just found that interesting. Like, oh, she's an economist. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me hear more of this. Yeah, but that's cool though. How would you, within these elections, just send a message to the people in terms of just coming together right now at this moment? Because we know that people have to make a choice, but at the end of the day, still one BVI. We're saying one BVI. How are you gonna get people to still think in the best interest of the country and still be unified and not to, promote more fighting or inward fighting?
I think one of the greatest examples was set recently. I don't know if y'all saw it on Facebook, right? Because the heart of a man will always, show out. Let's use this analogy of the kingdom of God. We have several different churches, one heaven. Do I not talk to somebody that goes to prophecy? Do I not? So I live my life like that. I'm in kingdom, all the time. But more recently, I don't know if y'all saw the post on Facebook that you put up where it was Mrs. Arlene Thompson, Miss Arlene Smith Thompson, Shayna Smith, and myself, and we were in an open field where Miss Thompson was about to have an event, and she's on the Virgin Islands party ticket. Shayna is on the Progressives United Virgin Islands movement, and I'm on the Progressives United team, and we were there praying. You gotta be it. Too long we've heard it. So I don't have a message to tell y'all. You look at what I do. Navigate. Let's just be about it. Because you could talk transparency, trust, you could talk all this all day, but somebody just have to do it, because it will still be engraved in the hearts and in the minds and the souls of our Virgin Islanders that have been scarred for many years of empty promises and empty this and empty that, until they see that a change has been made. We got fed up to the point where some people don't want to vote. Now I have a big problem with that. But at the same time, we just have to be it, because honestly speaking, what's the difference in the messages right now?
What do you mean with all the like everybody who's running?
You're hearing them talking, but what you hearing? What's the differences? Major differences, because anybody could say a big creative something, a big spiel of something, but what is actual? When you get in there, are you gonna keep us unified? Are you gonna work together with the opposition for what's in the best interest, or are we just gonna oppose because I ain't with you?
I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
I got a serious problem with that.
Yeah.
Opposing for the sake of opposing.
Right.
No, your job is to keep them accountable.
Yeah.
Right.
That's your job.
Yeah.
And a lot of these men, they get twisted. And
We get it messed up. We got it messed up. We got it messed up.
And that messes with the public's perception of what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Man, let me camera here.
Caribbean Superstation, guys. We had a great show. Binta couldn't make it here today. Claudia couldn't make it here today. But Chay's here. It's your boy Blake is in the building.
Yep.
We had Stephanie Brewley in the building. She is running for District 1. Guys, I just want to say we're back. We're back in the building. Pulse VI Season 2. This is Episode 1.
Pulse.
We got 30 more something episodes for the rest of the year. So, yeah. Welcome. We're back. Pulse VI, Caribbean Superstation. Thank you for having us. 90.9 FM. We are out. Thank you for being here, Stephanie.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right.
We be the heart of the VI. Feel the pulse and you will see why. Where I from, we do it B.I.G. On each other we could rely. Feel the pulse of the VI. Listen close and you will see why. The information will set you free. Stand together, never divide. Pulse VI.